welcome back. We are here with Floha running Cindered Shadows. Feel free to introduce yourself, Floha.
Hi, I'm Floha. I run the worst category, and yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I think you learned this category for like Golden's 12-hour challenge a few months ago, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, so this is a Dash and Wolves is a extra fourth house that's kind of advertised as part of the paid DLC, and the paid DLC allows you to play a side story, which is pretty much like a more classic Fire Emblem kind of experience with like minimal monastery stuff, more harder difficulties, nothing like saint statues or anything like that, just chapter go go go. It's a shorter mode, there are only around 7 or 8 maps, but yeah, so without further ado, I'll go ahead and give us a countdown. So, are you ready?
All right. I need to set up first, because Cindered Shadow's timing is a bit weird.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. But yep.
Shoutouts to chat for giving me the name suggestion. All right, ready.
All right, are you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
5,
ready.
4, 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, Cindered Shadows. We are limited by the number of units we have. We have Byleth, all 3 House Lords, and also a handful of other units. We have Hilda, Linhardt, and Ash on our team as well. And we'll also get the Ashen Wolves in our party after this map. But in this map, our goal is to defeat all commanders, which is to defeat all 4 Ashen Wolves, who are spread across the map. So immediately right off the bat, Floha is going to be doing some setup, and because we want to do as much setup as possible for the rest of the run, you'll see minimal preps for the rest of the run, basically. A lot of the preps here will be giving HP plus 5 and Dexterity plus 4 to both Dimitri and Claude, because it's minimal time loss for more reliability, and this category is already unreliable enough as it is. So yeah, and Dimitri is going to be the main carry for this run because he is a paladin in this route, and paladin with 8 move and Lancefare is pretty powerful. So yep, and Claude and Byleth are also going to be the other combat units because Wyvern Rider flying 7 move is really good, and Byleth has the Sword of the Creator with Swordfare because he is a sword master in this category. So that's really nice because 1-2 ranged.
Always one too much.
Okay, so right off the bat, Ash, our archer, who's actually a pretty good unit in this route because he has innate hit plus 20. He actually comes with the Retribution Gambit already, so we're gonna be starting off with Retribution on Claude and Dimitri. And if you missed what it was, Retribution is a Gambit that allows all targeted units to counterattack everything for the next 5 turns, which is really important for this map. So Dimitri went ahead and used the Gambit on the Brawlers right in front of Balthus, so that Balthus stays in place. And Linhardt's going to be pretty much spamming Physic to heal Dimitri pretty much every turn. And the strat for this map is effectively just going to be throw Dimitri forward over and over again, keep pushing him forward.
I'm getting stronger.
So Balthus is down. We need to take out 3 more Ashen Wolves, and moving Dimitri down there triggers Happy into warping into the center chamber. And she has really high range, but conveniently enough, we also have Claude nearby to help take care of her.
I'm getting strong.
With Retribution. Oh my god, those level ups.
Ready and willing.
And this, so we just got a door key with Dimitri. We want to keep that door key because that door key is going to be really important for chapter 4, I think. Claude went ahead and took out Happy at 3 range, and we just are wiping out some other units that would just bother us and waste time otherwise. And then pretty much for the rest of this map is basically push Dimitri forward, heal him with Linhardt as appropriate. and hope Dimitri survives and gets strength.
I'm getting strong.
So yeah, obviously the most important stat on Dimitri is strength, but we also want a lot of bulk on him, especially, I mean, so defense and res is always appreciated, and of course we want more hit and avoid on him. I mean, more hit and crit on him as well, so dexterity and luck is always appreciated. So unironically, speed is probably like one of the least useful stats for him, although, of course, speed is always still useful because more avoid. But basically, you want pretty much every stat on Dimitri that's not named magic or charm.
I'll cut through.
So, we're moving Dimitri up here to lure some Pegasus Knights away, and also get ready to take out Constance. Dimitri's getting hit pretty hard because his resistance is not very good.
I must keep.
And Dimitri's Retribution also just ran out, so he can't counterattack stuff anymore. So Floha's gonna go ahead and finish off Constance with a Javelin. Javelin with the Tempest Lance. Or any sort of combat art really that one-shots her. So Dimitri's typically not gonna be doubling enemies a lot, but rather since he has so much strength and attack power, he usually can just one-shot everything anyways. So this is the biggest troll part of this map, because Yuri has a like almost 30% chance of just halving damage. So we really don't want him to activate that, because he has Fetters of Drami. So yeah, so yeah, there's really not much you can do about this. The main thing we can really do is Divine Pulse exactly one move, and then use Physic on Dimitri. And because Linhardt has a crest that burns exactly one random number, so we can get hopefully a different result here.
Quite helpful.
So hopefully this succeeds.
Alright, nice.
Cool.
I will get.
Oh, good levels. These levels have been pretty good, I think. Yeah. So yeah, that chapter actually went relatively smoothly for marathon standards. Like, Yuri's gonna troll. Oh well. Alright, chapter 2. This is a giant route map. Probably the biggest map in the game. Wouldn't you say? It sucks, because like, this is kind of a notorious map, because it's like you route the map and then a bazillion enemies spawn in a different corner of the map. You route that portion and like 20 more enemies spawn in a different corner of the map, and you repeat that like 3 more times, and people kind of made a meme about this because it's so obnoxious, and it is no less obnoxious in a speedrun because, yeah, you usually have to improv to some degree in this map, and if you have to improv in a Fire Emblem speedrun, then that's bad. Because improv is bad. We are actually speedrunning this on normal casual difficulty though. Normal mode because it's easiest, and casual mode because we are willing to let units die, but we still don't want them to actually permanently die. Which you'll see soon. So right off the bat, we need to rely on Dimitri landing a 60 to 70 hit rate. If that fails, we can burn some RNs with Ash, with Curve Shot, because Ash is really accurate, thanks to hit plus 20. So hopefully Dimitri lands his combat art. Fingers crossed. Okay.
I'll cut through.
Oh, yeah, that hit rate. Well, it's nice that he hit, so hooray.
I'll give it my all.
So yeah, this mode is actually kind of Ash's time to shine, because he kind of has like absolutely nothing going for him in the main game, unfortunately. Probably considered one of the worst units in the game, but he's pretty darn solid in this route actually. So now we're gonna have Claude help clean up the center area. We don't want to kill every unit in this area until Dimitri gets to his position in the upper right corner. And we need to you need a retribution, I think.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot retribution.
Easy to forget these things.
Amazing.
Yeah, so we're gonna be doing a retribution on Dimitri on turn 2, and then so he can counterattack everything, because he's gonna have to counterattack a bunch of snipers in the upper right corner.
I'll cut through. Slow. Take over for me? Ready and willing.
So yeah, we're gonna be killing. Ideally, we'll kill every unit except one and leave exactly one alive.
Progress suits
And then on player phase of turn 3, we'll finish off that last unit after moving Dimitri into position. We do want Constance and Happy to be defeated ASAP. But since it's casual mode, it's fine for them to be defeated. So we want to move Dimitri into upper right corner before taking out the assassin. And Claude's also going to be helping route a portion of this map. So the benchmark we're looking for in Claude is 29 strength. He needs 29 strength to one round a boss later on in Chapter 5.
stay focused.
And Floha is now going ahead to move Violet to the lower area because near the end of the map there's going to be a bunch of reinforcements in the bottom left corner, and Violet will help clean that up. Because the problem with Dimitri is that there's only one of him.
Okay. Me?
Battle.
You can probably physic with Linhardt next turn. Okay, a lot of these tiles are avoid tiles, which is kind of annoying, so there's so much that can go wrong in this map, just due to stat variance, dodging, etc. These Dimitri level ups have been pretty darn good overall.
Whoops. I forgot to move Claude.
Ooh, yeah, that's... I would probably Divine Pulse here. Those Knights are really annoying to take out, because they're really dodgy since they're on avoid tiles. And they're also... Well, Claude doesn't have enough strength to 4-shot them with Steel Bow, so... I want to use the Silver Bow, which is actually less accurate than Steel Bow.
I expect.
So the DLC also introduces some new classes. So right there, the horse unit that Claude just took out is a Valkyrie, and they're mounted magic users with 6 move, but they have +1 black or dark magic range. And that one in particular has Excalibur, which is super effective on Claude if he's mounted. So it's important to just take that one out immediately on player face, because Claude can't counter it, and that Valkyrie will just slaughter Claude when he's mounted.
I must keep.
Okay. And
This might be a problem.
Linhardt's in range to Assassin now, I think.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that. You have to Divine Pulse.
Yes, that could heal.
Use caution.
That should work.
Yeah, this should probably work out. You probably have to kill the mage on player face, but that's fine.
Yeah.
And I'd probably go ahead and move Closet of Voidtail now and heal.
I'll cut through. It's your call.
Oh, it's casual mode. Death Knight's gonna wipe out our entire party. Oh no.
Oh no. Whatever are we gonna do now?
Such
Okay, and here, Violet's just going ahead and wiping out some of the axe
Another
users
step.
at the bottom area. Claude hit 29 strength, so that is really nice.
ready and willing.
You.
Oh wow, Lola survived that.
I expected as
Claude was supposed to be on the void tile in the lower left corner, I think. But you should be fine. I guess just fly into an avoid tile in the lower area and heal.
use caution. It's your call.
Actually, no, flying to an avoid tile wouldn't do anything. I mean, there's a lot that can just go wrong with this chapter because it's chapter 2.
Yeah. Speaking of stuff going wrong,
Progress.
You should be fine though. You only have like 2 enemy units left.
yeah, my silver bow broke though.
It's your call.
Oh, how much strength does Claude have? If he has 30, then you shouldn't need to steal the silver bow, I think.
I must.
This should be fine.
Wow, I'm surprised you hit
Okay.
that. A double 43. That's around a 30-ish hit rate. Alright, chapter 2, in a nutshell. It's a complete mess.
Yeah.
Chapter 2 is chapter 2, but that's like chapter 2 and chapter 5 are like both the messiest chapters of this route by far. So, yep. Chapter 3 is also kind of a complete mess. You might be noticing a trend with this route. This route is a complete mess. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, sounds about right. Chapter 2 and 5 is the worst of it. Chapter 3 is also kind of a mess. So chapter 3 kind of has a gimmick where you're supposed to like escape by finding the correct lever, just like 3 or 4 levers at the bottom of the map. But it's not random, thankfully. Oh god, it would be terrible if it were random. The lever in the bottom right corner is always the correct one. So what we want to do is we need to get a spell break key, which is from the golem in the center of the map, and then use that on the bottom right corner of the lever. Since Byleth always has access to the convoy, we can try to use some convoy strats to send the spellbound key to convoy while Byleth makes his way down to the bottom right corner. So this should also be the first. This is also the first time where we see the Trickster ability being used, Foul Play. When the Trickster class is mastered, which Yuri is, then Foul Play allows you to swap positions with a unit up to 6 tiles away. So Floha is going to be using Foul Play with Yuri to get Byleth, to save Byleth a few tiles of movement. On top of that, we also have an accessory called the Feathers of Drami, which is a really nice piece of equipment because it gives you +1 move and Canto. In other words, the ability to move again with your remaining movement, and Byleth's going to be taking advantage of that on this map. So you might think, oh, well, why don't we just use Claude to fly over to the bottom right corner? Well, the problem is whoever's at the bottom right corner needs to have the spellbound key, and that golem in the middle takes forever to kill. So Floha's going to be positioning Dimitri here in range of the golem with retribution, so he counterattacks every turn.
Sure thing.
And eventually kill the golem, hopefully by turn 4 or 5. And then we also just kind of hope that Byleth survives and dodges, because it's Cindered Shadows. again, hoping for more strength and dex and luck and defense and everything that's not magic or charm. So, pretty good level up. Also a very good level up on Byleth. See, these paladins all have Swordbreaker, so they're really annoying. And then Floha's gonna go ahead and use Monster Blast on the upper right corner tile of this because we need the top 2 barrier tiles to be completely destroyed, so Dimitri can start doing full damage every enemy phase. So after this turn, Dimitri will then actually be doing full damage on a counterattack to this Golem every turn. And again, we need this Golem to go down because this Golem carries Spellbreak key that we need. The battalion broke, but that's whatever. It's casual mode.
Another step.
Okay, just hope that Byleth survives.
I'll never be.
Linhardt can actually tank this Golem because Golems do magic damage, and Linhardt has a crazy amount of resistance. So Linhardt, this is going to be some uncommon footage of Linhardt tanking something for us.
Be mindful.
Building Dimitri up. But I saved him, sorry.
Yep, so Dimitri's inventory is completely full, so once he kills the Golem and then he'll be prompted to send something to Convoy, and he'll be sending the Spellbreak key to the Convoy with that exploit, so that Byleth can now access the key. And this turn's really scary because Byleth gets attacked by a lot of units and can get rattled by a Gambit, which is disastrous and probably means you're dead. So here's hoping for the best.
Well, thanks, Byleth.
Byleth does have to Crest of Flames, which is kind of nice, because it's a 20% chance to heal yourself upon attacking, but obviously it's not something you can really count on. It just helps increase your odds of surviving a little bit. I feel like the best you can do is just move down and heal, then. Or maybe try healing someone with Linhardt to burn an RN, I guess.
Be mindful.
I forgot to heal Dimitri. Well, Byleth died anyways. Cool.
Try healing someone with Physic. Linhardt.
Another step.
Yeah.
And like, there's really not much you can do about this scenario because it's Cindered Shadows. So, because you got to go fast.
Battle. Sure thing.
And if this fails again, you could try burning 2 RNs with Constance using bolting on someone. That's an option. But here's hoping we don't need that.
This is looking good. Alright, Byleth lives. Good.
Woo!
Well,
Another step.
question is how long?
Just run. You might want to consider just unequipping Byleth.
Oh, okay.
Might be a decent idea. We'll see.
Hey, we live.
Nice.
We live. But we're rattled!
Yeah. You should try
boy.
unequipping instead, because then they won't try to gambit you. Be mindful.
Be mindful.
Yeah.
And we dead. This is...
try burning Arns with bolting and hope for the best. Maybe.
I could also just use my last concussion, even though I don't want to save that for later.
I think you can buy some from the item shop. I don't remember off the top of my head. But maybe like attack something with constants with bolting. You get a different set of RNs. Physic works too. This chapter is a complete mess with battle survival, and there's really not too much you can do about it.
Being mindful.
The sun.
Oh. Oh my god. I am starting to run out of options.
I think the most you can do is just attack other stuff with the other scrubs, because whatever you do doesn't really matter. But yeah, this is kind of a huge oof situation.
Being mindful.
I would still stay unequipped because of the gambits.
Ready and
Because getting hit by them is GG still.
I'm not done. Battle.
Yep.
Try attacking something bolting again with constants after the Claude and Linhardt move. Like, at this point, I think all you can really do is burn more RNs until you survive.
Being mindful.
So this is pretty much what improvisation looks like in Fire Emblem. You just try again. Just keep trying it over and over again. It's a little dumb, but that's the nature of Cindered Shadows.
Battle.
Yeah.
The sun.
Oh my god. Pile of please. I have anything else?
Attack with Ash or Hilda.
Yeah.
I think the main thing you needed to do earlier was kill the Armor Knight on the turn before this, because that Armor Knight is what's causing issues, because he also gambits you. I forgot about that.
Being mindful.
So you died when you did this last time, so you want to burn some RNs, I think. Probably both Physic and Bolting, with Sorted Fury equipped.
I'm not
See
done
if
yet.
that works.
Yeah, hopefully. With the weapon equipped, I can
Okay.
also heal.
Another step.
We live. We live.
Yeah, just run as far away as possible and just heal. I'd probably unequip too if you're in range of the Armor Knight. Which I think you are. But if you Concoction, you should be fine because there's only 2 units that can attack you.
Alright, we live.
Woo! Cindered Shadows, everyone! On the last Divine Pulse too, I think. I live! Alright, so chapter 4 is honestly probably one of my favorite chapters, honestly. It's it's relatively reliable, and it has kind of an interesting mechanic where everyone you deploy has to escape. Obviously in a speedrun that means you deploy pretty much nobody, because moving more units costs time. So we're going to deploy only Byleth and Dimitri, and if anyone dies it's game over, even in casual mode. So again, have only Dimitri and Byleth kind of supporting each other. And we need to kind of escape room by room, and reinforcements are triggered appropriately as we cross certain, what's it called? Blue tiles, which you'll see soon. Those blue tiles indicate when you fully exited a room. And are you gonna go ahead and replenish your battalions and forge right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So forging is really convenient because it repairs the weapon and also upgrades your weapon. And this is actually the only time where we're gonna be seeing any sort of forging in a speedrun, because unlocking forges costs time in the main game, but it's already unlocked for us here. So forging a steel lance plus for Dimitri and a steel bow plus for Claude. We cannot forge silver weapons because our professor rank is too low because Cindered Shadows, which is really silly, but alas. And also, Dimitri is still carrying that one door key all the way back in chapter 1, which he will be using here. Yeah, I forgot, we do forge Amir and Crimson Flower.
Stay focused.
So yeah, there's a door immediately in our way, and we need to open it, but we're not going to be using the door key on that door yet. There is a lever that Dimitri can reach pretty quickly to the right of the door because he's a paladin, 8 move.
Slow
and there are also 2 dark mages in the center room that have Banshee, and Banshee is pretty terrible because if you get hit by it, you lose movement. It's fine in this case because we can afford to have Byleth have his movement reduced for 1 turn, especially since he has the Fetters of Rami. So yeah, now Byleth needs to reach another lever on the center right of the map. Dimitri's gonna intentionally just hold back. We don't want him to cross the blue tiles, I think, because that will trigger reinforcements and spawning in the room that Byleth is in now. So you only want to cross the blue tiles with Dimitri once we're ready. I hope everyone enjoys this boss music that is not repetitive at all whatsoever. So yeah, as you saw there, a bunch of reinforcements spawned, which we kind of want to avoid because we crossed the line with Dimitri. And now we use that door key from chapter 1 to open up this door right here. And hopefully Dimitri survives everything.
I'm not setting. Use caution.
Okay, and we want Violet to cross the next set of blue lines ASAP, because that will close the previous rooms and then just make all these enemies behind us disappear. And we're almost at the end.
I'll cut through.
Just have to hope that Dimitri survives all this. Alongside Violet.
I will get.
Alright. Is that GG? This is pretty much GG. So yeah, that went alright. Not bad. Oh, chapter 5. Remember everything I said?
Boy.
Yeah. You remember chapter 2, that giant route map? Well, chapter 5 is that, without being really big, but still kind of a complete improv fest in all the bad ways. Because the problem with chapter 5, which of course it's a giant route map, and there's a third party. There's a third phase called, what's it called? The other phase, which is basically a bunch of yellow monsters fighting the red units. So they're fighting each other, and there's a lot of variance that can happen with that. And so every time we play chapter 5 is different every time. Meanwhile, we have about 2 minutes of cutscenes and loading screens. So, Floha, how's your day been going? As we master
My
this?
day has been going great. I woke up and I started watching a lot of Fire Emblem speedruns.
Yeah, how's this fun game? And which country do you live in again? I know it's like 4 p.m. for you right now, roughly 4 or 5.
Germany.
Germany.
It's 5
okay.
right now.
I was close. Okay. Yeah, this is like the side story route that you can only play once you have the paid DLC, and it features the Ashen Wolves, which the speedrun barely does because it's a Dimitri show. But
Also, shoutouts to do Abyss trips. Because one Abyss trip is not enough.
yeah, we have an Abyss trip, a cutscene, and more Abyss trips. So, yeah. And like, there was some, when you enter like a new area in a monastery, or in this case the Abyss, there's some dialogue in the bottom left corner, like an icon telling you like which room you're in, and you actually cannot hit L to finish exploring until that dialogue is gone, which is really annoying. So you have to open up the main menu to do that more quickly. This game has some really weird shenanigans with how it lets you hit the L button to finish exploring, because apparently you cannot do that if you're holding any button at all, period. So, it's interesting, but we all still love this game. This game is awesome. Alright, so chapter 5. Our top priority is to kill the boss in the upper left corner with Claude. Claude needs 29 strength to two-shot this boss at minimum with the silver bow. If he has more, he can afford to use the steel bow plus with more accuracy. And the reason why is because killing this boss triggers a cutscene where Happy sighs, and then monsters go crazy, and then every single enemy in this map will become rattled, which is really important for routing this map quickly.
What am I doing?
And you need to go back to continue. Okay. So yeah, that was a minor mistake with forgetting to do some preps, and it's easiest to just reset and redo it, because you never know if it messes stuff up down the road. We'll also be doing some battalion management here because we want we want to swap battalions with Dimitri so he gets the Blaze Gambit. Blaze is one of the best gambits in the game because it has a really nice triangle area of effect. It's not as good as like Ashes and Dust, but it's still very good. And it's going to be really valuable in this map and the last map. This chapter's deployment makes me kind of sad because you're just intentionally undeploying every female unit because they're like not useful in this chapter. I was like trying to route in like using constants to use bolting on the upper left corner, but unfortunately it turned out to be slower. Because bolting is really nice, but it's so inaccurate too.
Sure thing.
So yeah, another instance of seeing foul play in use just to get Claude closer to the upper left corner boss.
Ready and willing.
Oh, you're gonna get Kanto glitch. You should cancel that.
Life doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as a reminder, if you with a mounted unit, if you draw a path longer than what's needed, most Fire Emblem games will correctly recalculate the shortest path for you and then calculate how much movement you can move again. But unfortunately, this game does not do that. And a lot of people have definitely bumped into this bug before, where say if you move to a tile 4 tiles away using a 6 tile path, the game will calculate your remaining movement as if you move 6 tiles instead of 4, which is really silly, but oh well. This is something you have to keep an eye out for. And it actually can be abused in speedruns to your benefit because you can intentionally lose movements by burning movements to avoid the cancel animation. But you generally actually have to pay attention to the path you draw in this game, which literally no other Fire Emblem game does. But alas. So yeah, all the enemies here are rattled, so we got to take out a few stationary ones. Balthus is going to go one-on-one with this bird here. And then Claude's going to just go ahead and camp in his forest, dodge tank, and just kill everything. He's going to have some butt accuracy on some units, but it's okay. He can just kind of take his time wiping stuff out there. In it, here's gonna be Blaze in action.
God. Versing Gambits takes so long.
Yeah, Gambit animations are kind of obnoxiously long. Especially when you're rattling like a lot of units at once. But yeah, he can afford to rattle. He's using a Gambit here so he can rattle somebody assassins. The key enemy units to note is that we need to prioritize the units with Gambits, which are the units with the little green triangles. They have Gambits. Because you have to player phase them typically, because otherwise they're just going to gambit you. But in this case, since they're rattled, and if you're rattled, you cannot use a gambit, they're just going to attack normally and then die on enemy phase. Violet's role is going to be cleaning up some of the units in the upper right corner. And then we'll just have to see how this bottom area works, because there's a lot of variance of what can happen down here, because the enemy units are still fighting the monsters. The Armor Knights in this area are really annoying because they all have gambits, but they're also really bulky, so it's like you either let them come to you and try to gambit you, or you attack them, but they'll still try to gambit you anyways, and so on. So like, this chapter is a complete crapshoot. It's because like anything can happen. AI is random. There's so many different things that can happen. And so you can easily lose like 2 or 3 minutes on this map if you get unlucky.
We must.
In other words, if you have to improv, then you're losing a lot of time. Which 90% of the time you have to improv on this map. So, Balthus' role here is, if all the paladins survived, his role is to lure them away because they all have horse layers, and Dimitri doesn't like horse layers. He really does not like horse layers. And also just kind of to be a lure for some of the enemies to help alleviate some of the burden that Dimitri has, because Dimitri can only take so much.
I'm getting strong. Use caution.
And we want Dimitri in range of the snipers so he can counterattack them all with Retribution. Hopefully Dimitri dodges the horse layers. We'll see.
Another step.
Right. This is looking good, actually.
At my limit.
Pretty good.
Yep. I'm surprised.
Just
And Dimitri can't double a lot of units, but who cares? He just one-shots everything. I think I've had a run where Dimitri hit like 50 strength by endgame. It's pretty hilarious.
I will get.
What? Where? Oh. Alright, that's it.
This might have been a case where auto battle would have been into play, but it's easy to just not kind of overlook that. This chapter is a complete crapshoot, so we take those.
Hey, but we got chapter 6 coming up.
Chapter 6 is one of the more reliable-ish chapters. The only thing that can really go wrong is killing the boss for the most part. But this is kind of one of the more interesting chapters in the run. So basically all 4 Ashen Wolves are kind of gimped. They are taking damage every turn, and they're getting like their life sucked out of them or something. I don't remember the exact story. Basically, there are 4 red tiles across the map, and we need to have all 4 of those red tiles occupied by non-Ashen Wolves units. That will then allow us to take out the boss. So that means we need 4 of our, we're gonna have Byleth, Dimitri, Claude, and Hilda go to those 4 red tiles to block them off, and then Dimitri will go ahead and finish off the boss. And we're going to be seeing Retribution in action again. Retribution being Ash's really nice utility, although anyone can use it. Because there are a lot of Siege Tome users in this map. Siege Tomes being magic spells with 3 to 10 range. So, right off the bat, we're going to be using Retribution on Dimitri and Byleth, so Byleth can counterattack all of the Siege Tome users in the middle of the map. And then Dimitri will want to counterattack the boss, because the boss himself has a Siege Tome. And I think Dimitri has enough strength to one-shot him with the Silver Lance, hopefully. He needs 40 strength to 1 round KO, 1 round with the Silver Lance. 42 with a Steel Forge. I think yours is at 41.
Give it my all.
Much needed. I'll cut through.
Hilariously enough, Byleth's Sword of the Creator is no longer useful, so we're better off just using a Steel Sword. Because the Steel Sword is stronger than the Sword of the Creator, which is why a lot of people call it the Brick of the Creator, because it's not a great weapon.
We must
Oh, sorry, not Byleth, Rhea. Lady Rhea. Or rather, in this case, Gentleman Rhea. You'll want the Steel Sword, I think.
Ready and willing.
But that's fine for now. Okay. Thankfully, the enemies don't really move unless you get into range for the most part, so it's just really not it's not a super turn-sensitive chapter. It's turn-sensitive in the sense that we need to get Dimitri to the upper right red tile before Retribution runs out.
I will get.
Right, so we're almost there. We need Dimitri to get on the red tile now, so that he can afford to move the turn afterwards.
You sure? Could have been better.
Okay. And now we just need to occupy all 4 red tiles. There we go. And then we just hope that Dimitri kills Elfric at 10 range.
Hey! Good job.
Good boy. One chapter left. This chapter. Yeah, this chapter strat. I'll let it speak for itself. I'll let it speak for itself. I'll let it speak for itself. I'll just sit back and let you play it.
My notes for this are also very accurate.
We did a little bit of battalion management partially for this chapter as well, because we need a specific battalion layout to break all the barriers for this boss. This is a 4 HP bar giant boss that we need to take out, so there's a lot of damage we need to do.
Stay focused.
Remember your service.
I'll cut through.
I'm here to help.
Ah, classic.
Yeah, so the boss spawns extra Elfrics every turn, and usually there'll be one that blocks Happy, which is unfortunate.
Ready and
But
willing.
you probably, but if he blocks her, then you'll just have to take him out with a different unit.
Okay.
All right, Floha, have fun.
So yeah, very intense strats as you can see. Gotta pay attention to not lose my focus in here.
Ooh, the auto battle is really difficult to nail. Go Ash, go! Go Ash, go! You're probably fine. You're fine. Not much health left.
That's fine.
So yeah, you ideally want to finish before that, but there's only so much you could do, and yeah, just have to spam auto battle and hope for the best. That's the best thing you can do.
Hey, there we go. All right, and time.
54-11. Underestimate.
Hey,
Woo!
and it's even a PB.
Nice. GG. Yeah, that's Cindered Shadows for you. Welcome to Cindered Shadows.
Yep.
Alright. I do want to give a shout out to Floha. I know Floha learned this really short term because of the 12-hour challenge, and he offered to run this despite not being quite as familiar with the game, but I do want to appreciate him taking his time to practice this and be de-rusted to do this in this relay marathon. Because, yeah, I really appreciate it, Floha. And Floha also does, I think, a lot of Skyward Sword randomizers, and yep, Skyward Sword's pretty fun, just FYI.
Yeah. Yeah, I do a lot of Zelda speedruns, randomizers, and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm also a part of Bingathon, which is a charity marathon coming up in about 2 weeks. So if you're interested in another marathon, then I don't know, go check that out, I guess. And it's on the weekend from the 28th to 31st May. So there's that. So yeah, good luck to Clarice running Silver Snow.
Oh,
and,
Silver Snow.
Yeah, that's it from me.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Floha. We'll be right back. We'll be having Clarice doing Silver Snow, but we'll be back in a few minutes setting that up. So thanks, Floha, and